see, this episode we are covering the basis of you guys individually. We're sharing our little stories, talking about our progress over the year with the Zilwa project, and essentially this is what this episode is about. It's really about the journey of Zilwa and who the people behind Zilwa are. So that leads me to another question. What does the word Zilwa mean to you guys?
Zilwa, pour moi, il y a une description de sa lifestyle qui nous a ici, l'île Maurice. C'est nous nés dans un pays qui est multiracial, avec beaucoup de cultures différentes, justement, beaucoup de principes différents, mais qui, depuis que Maurice commence à devenir multiracial, justement, nous sommes habitués avec ça, nous construire, c'est venu comme un point fort qui nous a cohabité. Et pour moi, c'est ça, Zilwa, c'est le fait qu'il nous a un mix de communautés différentes pour créer une seule unique communauté. Et il y a ce ban haut et bas, ce ban clash, etc. Nous pensons les pareil dans tous les autres pays. Mais voilà, Zilwa, c'est vraiment ça. Nous avons un petit territoire que nous tout fait maximum pour cohabiter. Et amène de nouvelles connaissances, de critiques constructives, de critiques pas forcément constructives. Et nous avons ça côté bien tropical, hein, même dans nos façons d'être. Et Zilwa, c'est aussi justement culture culinaire que nous avons ici, côté manger, et musical. C'est vraiment un peu de tout. Et nous avons un joli mix, nous avons vraiment un métissage de beaucoup de cultures différentes, de races différentes. Et pour moi, c'est ça, Zilwa, c'est nous avons vraiment ça appartenance à nous petits îles.
Alors, Zilwa, c'est comme si c'est ça qui forme partie culture mauricienne.
C'est ça, il n'y a pas de label, comme si moi je suis catholique, toi tu es musulman, toi tu es indien. Enfin, tu n'as pas introduce as, tu vois. Tu as le background, ton background, mais tu considères vraiment le mauricianisme en premier.
Ok.
Genre que tout le monde arrive à communiquer, à partager avec différentes cultures. Pourquoi Zilwa, c'est une façon de vivre. Tu définis Zilwa, mais tu vis en tant que Zilwa. Il n'y a pas de barrière entre différentes communautés.
And I guess you guys, from having listened to your description and understanding of what identity you guys give yourself, I guess Zilwa would be one of those elements to add to you identifying yourself. So yeah, you identify as a Zilwa. Yeah, nice. And I think from my perspective, before I came to Mauritius, I was under the impression that Mauritius was this island, that was still kind of very simple, and I mean simple in the most positive way. Fishermen families, living off of agriculture. I was really impressed and shocked when I came to Mauritius to see the level of development that there was here. So yeah, I was under the impression that Mauritians really still led a very simple lifestyle. But it's not exactly that, especially today, because you have a lot of youngsters, again, chasing their dream of, being big business people, or, really building a name for themselves, having money, having a home, a nice car. That's very much integrated into the Mauritian culture today. But again, as an expat, this is something that was really surprising to me. So again, this sort of brings us on the project of Zilwa. It was created so that we can represent this innovative generation of people. And the idea of Zilwa really came up in a classroom. So again, like I asked you guys, what does identity and culture mean to you? In my day job as a teacher, teaching about Mauritius, I noticed that a lot of young people were sort of embarrassed as well to have this name, this nationality of Mauritian being added to them. And I was surprised, I was shocked, because as you guys say, you know, being Zilwa, being a Mauritian is all about the diversity of culture, food, you know, traditions, religion. You know, I think that's what makes it really unique and beautiful. I mean, I come from London, where we also have a sense of multiculturalism as well, but it's very minimum, of course, compared to here. And that's something that as Londoners we're really proud of. And to see that some of these young students, you know, that they were sort of ashamed to be called Mauritian. You know, I guess they would rather be European in some ways. And that made me remember my childhood as well, being someone of colour with a Mauritian background, but not being born here. You know, being in a public school in England, you've got the majority of, you know, the Caucasian community, and being someone of colour, I was very confused about my own identity, and it was very difficult to feel like you belonged. But I also felt it when I came to Mauritius, which I didn't expect. Again, like I say, the mindset and the lifestyle of people, the idea that I had in my head, it really wasn't that. My reality was completely different. And it was funny because I experienced reverse racism to me. You know, I look Mauritian, I've got brown skin, but when I first came, I couldn't speak a word of Creole. But I could understand, and sometimes I would go to the shops, but I couldn't, you know, ask for the things that I wanted in Creole, and you would hear the cashier behind the counters just saying like, oh, you know, ça, il a en idée, c'est pas la France, c'est qui pour, and moi, une fini vin anglais français. But do you know what I mean? But it felt very personal because I didn't want to offend, but at the same time, I couldn't communicate. So that was very interesting, and this is why when I started Zilwa, it was really to celebrate, you know, this diversity. And yeah, you may have certain people, you know, who go off somewhere and then they come back and they show off. You know, you've got that everywhere. That depends on someone's character and personality. But you shouldn't have to generalize. I think that's where it becomes a shame. So again, the project, the idea of creating Zilwa, it came from a classroom, and I found myself, all of the things that I was insecure about when I was younger, I found myself, you know, putting that on the table to the kids and telling them that those were the things that they should be proud of. And this is when the identity of Zilwa for me really began to bloom, and I do really appreciate that part of my culture now, that part of me. This is what I am. So yeah, and you know, what I wanted to do when I started Zilwa was actually have more of an educational newsletter to inform students, you know, of what are the beautiful aspects of the culture, you know, updates, whether be it musically, through arts, you know, and that's when I realized that in Mauritius you've got so many young artists, but they don't really pursue that, right? They have a dream perhaps, you know, to be a DJ, to be a musician, to be an actor, but it's very difficult to pursue that here in Mauritius. So I'd like you guys to tell us a little bit about, your journey in terms of artists. So especially you, Pierre, what that journey has been like for you. What opportunities have you been given, perhaps, or opportunities you've not received?
Ici, en termes, si nous cause, vu que nous cause pour mon carrière musicale en termes de DJing, opportunité, on pas dire manquer. Il y a plein d'opportunités dans plein de situations différentes, tout dépendant bien sûr de tout, déjà de te choix en termes musicaux, qui te fait envie performer, qui te fait envie jouer, qui t'a envie de faire du monde entendre. Si tu es un all-rounder DJ qui touche de tout style de la musique, qui est sur dancehall, qui est sur commercial, musique, pop ou même rock, électronique, whatever. Chacun a son petit district, on va dire. Chacun a sa quantité d'opportunités. Effectivement, si tu touches beaucoup plus un style musical général, plus mainstream, etc., tu peux avoir beaucoup plus d'ouverture. Tu peux avoir dans voyage, tu peux avoir dans discothèque, tu peux avoir dans n'importe qui, on va dire global event. Mais si tu as un artiste qui vraiment envie de focus sur un style particulier, là, tu peux toujours focus sur les organizers, ou des organizers particuliers. Donc, dans ce cas-là, c'est là que tu deviens un peu plus restricted. C'est si toi, tu choisir, si pour moi, par exemple, qui décide pour focus sur les deux projets, les deux angles of electronic music, qui pas vraiment une. On va pas vous dire qu'il là se place, mais disons qu'il se place pas encore faire ici.
Ici à
Ici,
Maurice.
exactement. Il est plus compliqué. Il est plus compliqué pour moi. Et en termes de musiciens aussi, pour un nouvel camarade, une nouvelle connaissance qui me lance dans la musique, si je décide pour aller vers un côté de la musique qui est un peu plus sorti de l'ordinaire, qui n'est pas trop, qui n'est pas mal cover, un truc comme ça, je pourrais avoir beaucoup plus de difficultés pour voir une bonne opportunité, bonne gigs, etc. Et si nous prenons par exemple un camarade à moi qui est aussi, excusez-moi, qui est aussi ouvert en termes de musique en général, c'est Cannes, qui commençait, enfin moi je me connais à l'époque, il était en plein dans electronic music, et il était vraiment connu pour ce qu'il fait, il était dans ce style, ce signature, etc. Et il est complètement converti dans un projet qui est non seulement humanitaire, mais musical à ce terme. Et le fait qu'il ait réussi à créer sa petite domaine-là pour lui, ça nous fait une bonne opportunité, un bon accès tellement wow, comme on a pensé à celle-là, qui m'a réintéressant. Et il a sa chance du monde envie d'écouter. Et malheureusement, il n'est pas comme ça pour tout le monde musicien.
Ouais.
C'est ça qui est dommage. Parce qu'il y a beaucoup d'artistes ici qui sont vraiment doués, qui ont envie capable de dédier ce full life, ce daily life à la musique, sans pour autant travailler en full time de l'autre côté, mais qui n'ont pas gagné l'opportunité de faire parce que voilà, il est compliqué déjà pour créer un certain database of fans, il est compliqué pour accéder à des gens qui organisent des événements. Donc, il est compliqué. Il est compliqué, mais il n'est pas décourageant. Vous pensez toujours à un certain espoir.
Mais pour moi, personnellement, de parcours, me trouve-toi bien. Like for me, through Zilwa, I was able to meet so many different people, and that was the objective as well. But for you personally, I've seen you grow within your music as well. The style that you played, what you started with, your second project, the versatility in your style, and I feel, within a small community, but you're starting to build a name for yourself, and congratulations on
Thank
that.
you.
And I think it's really important that we do show the love and support to these people that we meet, you know, you guys included. But there's a lot of people who deserve that recognition, and they're not always going to get it, and I think they know that it's going to be harder for them, especially those who are in similar situation to you. But another person I want to also mention is Tijani. Tijani, he was one of the first people with you that I interviewed, and it's really, really nice to see how far he's gotten. And I think the confidence as well that you guys have gotten throughout this year. So definitely thank you for sharing your experience.
My pleasure.
Yeah,
My pleasure.
and for sharing your music as well. Because I think this is for me where sometimes I get a little bit worried, if I'm honest, on how people take the arts, right? For me personally, art is a form of expression. Yes, you can make money off of it, sure, but and again, this is my personal opinion, I don't believe the arts should be exploited in the sense where, you know, you're pushing it to get just the dollar. Yeah. I definitely think that arts is something that is so deep and so individual. We look at a piece of art, we listen to a piece of art, we watch a piece of art, we'll take our own interpretations from that. That's the beauty of it, right? And I feel that it's a shame that a lot of people are losing sight of that, whether they're, you know, producers in the arts or, you know, spectators, admirers. I think that it's important to remember, why are you supporting this art? You know, what does it mean to you? Why are you contributing to it, you know? And yeah, so I think that sometimes that's a shame. So we do need to get back to that.
C'est aussi triste en fait, vu que moi j'ai travaillé dans un environnement assez autistique, j'ai fait pas mal de rencontres des autistes dans leur dessin plus, qui ont fait des tableaux. Et ils me disent souvent que c'est super compliqué à Maurice, parce qu'on n'a pas encore eu cette culture où les gens comprennent et vraiment dire que voilà, ça c'est, il y a beaucoup de travail dedans. Si tu me dis ce prix-là, c'est parce que voilà, on voit quelque chose, on voit du travail. Ils pensent que c'est super facile de faire un tableau. Je vois plus pour les peintres et tout là. Mais ouais, vraiment, le fait de faire douter à l'artiste que voilà, ça ne vaut pas ça ton art, c'est Marie décourageant et triste. Parce que la personne, comme tu as dit, c'est une expression. Tu expresses yourself dans un art, tu as mis du cœur, tu as mis du temps dedans. Et à la fin, quand quelqu'un te dit ça ne vaut pas ça, comment tu peux faire douter cette personne-là? Et je pense qu'à Maurice, il faut vraiment que les gens apprennent à comprendre l'art.
Yeah, it's so important, and I think there's something so humane, you know, in art, and I think that's what people are losing these days, is their humanity. We're becoming so robotic, you know, we're forgetting what it's like to be humans. And again, I mean, you know, it's funny, but as humans, we're very sensitive, but sometimes we need to remember that we can't take everything that another person says personally, right? And I think what's also more difficult is to be critical of yourself, and to accept yourself as you are. So, you know, you could paint a particular style that you yourself know it's not for everyone, it's not everyone's cup of tea, right? And that's okay, you know, that's okay. And I think, you know, it's very easy to be discouraged, but it takes so much more to accept, you know what, it's not for everyone. And, you know, but I'll stick to what I want to express. And this is definitely what I've done with Zilwa. I'm very well aware that this project is not for everyone. Not everyone is going to understand what it's about. It's not just, like you said earlier, it's not just about promoting and supporting artists. It's really about this humane side. Who are the people who are behind these paintings or music or whatever? It's about the people. It's about authentic Mauritian artists and their lives and their journeys. And I think people don't really look for that. They don't look for that narrative, and they're not so much interested in that. They're interested in the end product, or the final image, and that's a shame. And this is why we've done a lot of interviews with Zilwa. We've tried lounging, and we've had a lot of ups and downs on Zilwa. We tried many different things, and all with limited equipment. We don't have big funding. We've worked with what we've got, limited resources definitely, but we're trying our best, only because I think the message that we want to put across is much more important, and it is to make people, hopefully give them that confidence, is with whatever little you have, you can achieve big, or you can achieve, it depends what big is for you. Like I said, Zilwa is not for everyone, and we're not about gaining, a huge amount of followers. That's not what matters to us. What matters is really, okay, the people who are following us, they really do understand what we're about, and they want to join that. Yeah, they want to be part of that community. So yeah. And I think what I want to do as well is talk to you guys about the realism behind the Zilwa project. That I was saying, we've had a lot of ups and downs. As you know, a lot of the projects that we've started, we've not been able to deliver fully. We've had certain technical issues. We've had, I guess, with the first season of Lounging as well, we were not able to release all of our full episodes onto YouTube, and that again is because we had certain technical difficulties. But these things happen in life, right? And we shouldn't hide behind the issues. It's part of the journey, it's part of the progress, and we're back, we haven't given up, and I think, I have to say that I'm quite proud of myself for not giving up, but I'm so grateful for you guys who have been supporting me and encouraging me to not give up, because there are points where I was just like, you know what, people don't get it, we don't have the equipment that we need, we don't have the resources that we need, we don't know the people that we need to know in order to make this succeed. But I mean, I have to say, I think this has been a pretty successful project. And we've grown a lot, we've learned a lot, we've had so many experiences together. And, I'll go back to our first event that we put on, Ethics 1. The arts, that is what it was called, and it was to celebrate the arts. And we had a theme that ran through, and it was man versus nature, and we had loads of artists to represent that theme. It was an opportunity for our DJs to create a set that represented being Zilwa. So our projects really, it's deep, it has a process of thoughts. It's not just, oh, I've had an idea and we're going to do that. No. It's really had a process of thought, and it's something meaningful. Again, with our new project that we're working on at the moment, The Streets, it's to celebrate and promote this skate and street culture that we have here in Mauritius, but not a lot of people know about, right? And again, just like the arts, the sport doesn't really get the support that it needs. For us, we've seen that we need to support ourselves. I have to say, personally, for me, I wouldn't have been able to do this project so successfully without you guys behind me, right? Next to me, even. And I've had the support from you guys. And this is what this project is about. It's about being proud of who you are. It's about embracing being a Zilwa. It's about showing, the beautiful side of community. It's about giving support to each other. And it's funny, I had a question before from someone who asked, well, have I thought about competition in what we're doing? And I was just like, this is not a business that I wanted to create. It's really, like I said, that humane side of life, but into a project, because we don't really sit down every day with our friends and family to talk about these things and help these matters that need attention. So when they asked me that, I was like, well, I'm not concerned about competition because I'm not looking to be the best, I'm looking to put my mindset across, because we have so many different things available to us on the internet, negative, positive, and I think having this mindset is something positive for this generation of Mauritians. You've got this influential culture now, but why not put something that is important and fundamental to life across on the table? That's what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to be the best at anything. And I think I've also seen a lot of other associations supporting arts in a way that we do as well. And I think that's brilliant. The more support these artists can get, the better. So it's no competition at all.
C'est que du plus pour eux.
Exactly. So it's funny for me to hear this type of question, because again, it goes to show, well, that's not what we're about, and we're proud of that. That's what makes us, in a sense, I guess, different, because not everyone thinks that way. But if more and more people do, then it would be a much better place. And I found that, in Mauritius itself, as I was saying earlier, I was surprised to see the level of development. But, with development comes a change of mindset as well, and a shift of priorities. Having a simpler lifestyle means you can appreciate the simple things in life. But when you have big ambitions, and I don't think that, you should not have ambitions. Of course, have ambitions. But again, like you were saying, kind of have it on the right perspectives, right? So this is what Zilwa is about. Yes, we help promote artists, and it's not artists who already have huge followings. We look for artists who, to us, are different. One of the things that I've noticed is you've got plenty of artists who touch very classical subjects, like the landscape. If we talk about music, Siga, a bit more dance hall now, I think, is what's emerged a bit more. But we are looking for people who want to share this different side as well. And, the people that we support are people with low numbers of followers, to help them, increase their numbers of following. But not just the numbers, but, other people to see, okay, this is what's out there as well. It's not just, I'm not trying to peg down artists who draw scenery or landscape in Mauritius, but, there's a lot more than that. We have a lot more abstract artists, expressionism, contemporary art that's coming out, and people need to also take the time, get educated, get informed. And that's what we're trying to do. So Zilwa is not just about promotion of artists. We've got a whole range of things that we do. I definitely wanted to talk about the background of Zilwa, and really we talked about topics that are very important for any human being, for someone who is part of this culture and this society as well, but even people, you know, from other cultures who may be listening and viewing. I think it's good to see, okay, these are authentic Mauritians, we are authentic Mauritians. And as you would have heard as well, the different use of language.
Ouais.
Yeah, we're jumping from English, French, Creole, and this is what makes Mauritian, this is what makes Zilwa.
Harry mélange.
Yeah, Gary Milans.
Comme on les aime.
So, on that note, thank you for taking the time to listen to us, to give us a viewing, and we will be back with another episode where we really talk about the members that we've had on Zilwa, so not just the team members, but the people who have joined Zilwa, projects that we have promoted. We'll be talking about the different projects that we have launched ourselves. And we will also be taking questions from our viewers and answering them, rather, on the next episode. So catch you then.